Chosen one, this message is for you. Someone with real influence, someone powerful, has been watching your journey. They've seen the unwavering faith you've displayed in the face of fear, the courage you've shown when others would have faltered. Do you realize how extraordinary that is? In a world that often succumbs to fear, you've chosen faith, and that decision has set you apart. Before we dive into this incredible revelation, I want to take a moment to deeply thank those of you who have supported this channel through Super Thanks. Your kindness and faith are a testament to the light you carry, and your support helps ensure that messages like this continue to inspire and reach those who need them most. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered why your path has been filled with challenges that feel so much greater than what others face? It's because you're not ordinary. You're chosen by God, called to carry a light that the world desperately needs. And when you stood firm in faith instead of caving to fear, you aligned yourself with His divine plan. The Bible says, "The eyes of the Lord search the whole earth in order to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to Him." 2 Chronicles 16:9. Right now, that strength is being poured into your life. And here's the amazing part. Someone influential has recognized this and plans to reward you. Stay with me, because what's about to unfold is nothing short of life-changing. If you're ready to embrace the blessings that are already aligning for you, comment 999 below as a declaration of faith and readiness. What's waiting for you is more than a reward. It's destiny stepping into motion. Are you ready to claim it? God's chosen ones, you chose faith over fear. Someone powerful noticed and plans to reward you. Chapter 1. The quiet decision that changed everything. Chosen one, have you ever stopped to consider how life-changing the smallest decisions can be? Choosing faith over fear isn't always a grand cinematic moment. It's often found in the quiet, unseen choices you make every day. Decisions that seem ordinary but carry extraordinary power. Declining a negative thought, standing firm in the face of doubt, or holding on to hope when everything around you says to give up. These are the moments where faith takes root. For we live by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Can you think of a time when one of your smallest decisions to trust God led to a surprising breakthrough? Maybe it was when you refused to let someone's harsh words define you, or when you dared to believe you were capable of more than others thought possible. It might have been something as small as applying for a job you felt unqualified for, finally making a difficult phone call, or pursuing a dream you had long buried. Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. Zechariah 4:10. What small but brave decision have you made recently that has planted seeds of change in your life? Think of David, the shepherd boy in the Bible. Have you ever wondered how he found the courage to face Goliath when even soldiers around him were trembling? It wasn't the moment he stepped onto the battlefield that defined his bravery. It was the years of quiet faith he nurtured while tending sheep. He trusted God to deliver him from the lion and the bear, and that faith became his foundation for the greater battles to come. 1 Samuel 17:37. Just like David, your own small acts of faith, those unseen victories, are strengthening you. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in Him, and He helps me. Psalm 28:7. Do you see how these moments are preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine? Do you remember the very first time you chose faith over fear? Maybe it was the day you refused to settle for mediocrity, chose to forgive instead of retaliating, or decided to trust God with a situation that seemed impossible. These moments of faith, though small, are powerful acts of alignment with God's plan. even if you don't remember the exact moment. The Lord directs the steps of the godly. He delights in every detail of their lives. Psalm 37:23. How reassuring is it to know that God has been guiding every step you've taken, even when you couldn't see it. Here's the truth. Every single act of courage, every moment you leaned into faith instead of fear, is recorded in a divine ledger. God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him. Hebrews 6:10. What if every tear you shed in prayer, every leap of faith you took, was a seed planted for a future harvest? Galatians 6:9 reminds us, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Do you feel the quiet strength of knowing your faithfulness is not in vain? Picture this. You're standing at the edge of two worlds. Have you ever felt like you're caught between the safe, predictable terrain of fear and the vast unknown filled with both risk and promise? Every time you choose faith, you take a bold step into that wild, untamed territory. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. Fear may call you back, its voice whispering doubts, but with each step forward, its grip loosens and its voice fades into a distant echo. Then, without warning, something miraculous happens. Out of nowhere, a door opens. Maybe it's an unexpected opportunity landing in your inbox, a stranger offering you the advice you desperately needed, or a deep sense of calm replacing your anxiety. Have you noticed those moments when everything seems perfectly aligned, as if the universe is conspiring in your favor? And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. These moments aren't coincidences, they're confirmations. Chosen one, can you sense it? These quiet decisions, these moments of courage, are not just small steps. They are the building blocks of your destiny. You're no longer the person you used to be. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, the new is here. 2 Corinthians 5:17. You've grown a backbone of steel, and the storms of life no longer have the power to knock you down. What's waiting for you on the horizon is extraordinary, but it's your continued faith that will unlock the blessings that are already aligning for you. Are you ready to fully step into the purpose and blessings God has prepared for you? Now, here's a practical step to consider. Think back to a recent decision you made, a choice that felt uncertain, even risky, but one you knew was rooted in faith. How did it make you feel at the time? Now, consider how that decision has influenced your life so far. Has it shifted your mindset, opened unexpected doors, or brought you a sense of peace or clarity? Write down 3 specific ways this choice has impacted you. These could be subtle changes, like waking up with a renewed sense of hope, or tangible results, like receiving unexpected feedback or support. By acknowledging these ripples of positive change, you'll strengthen your conviction that choosing faith was, and continues to be, the right path forward. It's easy to doubt yourself when the results of your actions aren't immediately visible. Have you ever thought, "I stepped out in faith, but nothing seems to be happening"? It's important to remember that a waiting season isn't wasted. Picture a seed planted in fertile soil. At first, there's no visible growth, but underneath the surface, the seed is germinating, rooting itself firmly in the ground, preparing for the moment when it will sprout. If you dig it up too soon out of frustration, you disrupt the process entirely. Faith works in the same way. Patience is the partner of faith, giving you the endurance to trust that growth is happening even when you can't see it. How often do we underestimate the power of unseen progress. These quiet periods are often when someone influential takes notice. It might be someone with the resources, insight, or connections to help elevate you in ways you could never achieve on your own. Perhaps they've observed your resilience or heard about how you face challenges with grace and determination. These individuals, whether they are within your personal network or complete strangers, are nudged by divine timing to step forward. They aren't just supporters, they are conduits for blessings uniquely tailored for you. Think of them as part of the divine design, responding to the energy you've put into the world through your faith. And here's the incredible part. You don't have to chase these people or beg for their support. When the time is right, they'll see your worth clearly and act accordingly. It may come as an unexpected phone call, an invitation you never saw coming, or an introduction to someone who shares your vision. None of these moments are random. They arrive precisely when you need them most, often when you're on the verge of feeling discouraged or uncertain. It's as if the universe or God himself is saying, "I see you. I haven't forgotten you. Keep going." So, if reading this gives you a sense of excitement or anticipation, take it as a sign. That prickle of recognition is your spirit acknowledging the truth. You've walked deep enough into the territory of faith that the next level is already being prepared for you. Keep your heart open, because the opportunities ahead will not only validate your journey, but also align with the deepest parts of who you are. In the coming chapters, we'll explore how to strengthen your faith even further, recognize those influential allies when they appear, and fully embrace the rewards that resonate with your purpose. This is only the beginning of what's possible. Stay tuned, because the next steps will reveal how your faith, persistence, and openness can lead you to blessings beyond anything you've imagined. Chapter 2. The Magic of Being Noticed. Chosen one, have you ever felt that tingling sense of anticipation, the subtle but powerful knowing that someone with the ability to change your life has their eye on you? It's not just any kind of attention, it's purposeful, divine, and perfectly timed. Whether it's a thought leader in your industry, a potential business partner, an investor, or someone with the key to a door you've been knocking on for years, their notice feels nothing short of miraculous. But here's the truth. This isn't about luck. It's about alignment. Can you feel the power of knowing that your story, your journey, and your resilience are magnetizing the very people meant to elevate your path? The real magic isn't in the starstruck moments or chasing after influential people. No, it's deeper than that. It's about authenticity, living your truth so fully and radiantly that it resonates at a frequency others can't ignore. Remember what Jesus said in Matthew 5:14-16. You are the light of the world. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Your light, chosen one, is what draws the right people to you. Sometimes you don't even have to be in the same room, city, or country as them. A word-of-mouth referral, a social media post, or a conversation with a mutual acquaintance acts as a divine bridge, carrying your name to the right ears. Picture this. One day, you're moving through life with determination, quietly working on your vision. Then, out of nowhere, your phone rings, or an email pings. And there it is, an opportunity you didn't even dare to dream of because it seemed too grand. Isn't it incredible how God works in ways beyond what we can imagine? Ephesians 3:20 reminds us, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us." Have you experienced moments when the impossible suddenly seemed possible, almost as if the universe was conspiring for you? Why does this happen? Because you chose faith over fear, People with influence, those who have climbed their own mountains, are often attuned to acts of courage, integrity, and persistence. They see and admire the underdog who refuses to quit, the dreamer who pours heart and soul into a vision, and the optimist who keeps the light burning even in the darkest tunnels. Think of Ruth in the Bible, who faithfully stayed by Naomi's side and worked humbly in the fields. Her quiet resilience and faith caught the attention of Boaz, a man of influence, leading to a life-changing connection. Ruth 2:11-12. Like Ruth, your faith and determination are sending out signals, whether you realize it or not. When you embody faith, you're sending a powerful message to the world. I'm serious about my calling, and I won't let obstacles deter me. Influential people see that signal and think, I want to support this person because they remind me of my own climb. Have you ever wondered how your faith might already be opening doors that you cannot yet see? But let's be honest, getting noticed is just the beginning. Are you ready for what happens next? Imagine being introduced to a mega mentor, a key investor, or someone with the power to transform your career. They look you in the eye and ask, so what's your plan? Will you be prepared to answer with clarity and conviction? Faith isn't just about believing in possibilities. It's about doing the work so that when those possibilities arrive, you're ready to hold them. James 2:26 reminds us, faith without works is dead. Are you putting in the effort to match the opportunities your faith is creating? This doesn't mean you need a flawless plan or years of experience. More often than not, people of influence are drawn to genuine passion paired with a clear understanding of what you want to achieve and why. Think about Joseph in the Bible. His faith and integrity allowed him to rise from prison to Pharaoh's palace, but it was his preparation, his ability to interpret dreams and devise a plan that ultimately secured his position. Genesis 41:33-40. Are you nurturing the gifts God has given you so that when your moment arrives, you can step into it with confidence? Chosen one, this chapter of your life is about more than being noticed. It's about being ready. The people who see your potential are not just looking for talent. They're looking for faith, persistence, and a clear vision. So, I ask you, are you ready to embrace the opportunities that are coming your way? Here's action to try. Take a moment to reflect deeply on who you are, what you stand for, and what drives your vision. Now craft a 60-second power statement that encapsulates these truths. This is not a scripted pitch meant to impress. It's a concise yet powerful expression of your purpose, values, and goals, spoken from the core of your authenticity. Write it down, refine it, and practice delivering it until it feels like a natural extension of your identity. Imagine being asked by someone with significant resources or influence, "Tell me about yourself and your mission. Why should I believe in you?" Your answer should flow with clarity, conviction, and confidence, even under pressure. One of the greatest pitfalls when stepping into opportunities is the temptation to shift into people-pleasing mode. Have you ever found yourself trying to guess what someone influential wants to see or hear, molding yourself to fit their expectations? Resist this urge. The reason they noticed you in the first place is because of the energy, authenticity, and character you're already radiating. Diluting your essence or trying to conform to someone else's expectations not only diminishes your unique value, but also risks disconnecting you from your purpose. Stand firm in who you are. Authenticity resonates far more than pretense. When opportunities arise, respond with a balanced mix of humility and confidence. Acknowledge your strengths, but don't be afraid to admit areas where you're still growing. If you lack a specific skill or experience, own it honestly. For example, you might say, "That's an area I'm eager to develop, and I'm actively learning as I go." This kind of transparency builds trust, People of influence are often drawn to genuine passion and determination, and may even offer to fill the gaps themselves if they see your drive is real. Consistency is critical for sustaining momentum. It's easy to rest on the excitement of being noticed, thinking that a single moment of recognition will carry you forward. But long-term success is built through steady, faithful action. What were the practices, habits, and values that got you noticed in the first place? Keep doing those. Keep living boldly in faith, taking small but significant steps toward growth, and showing up with integrity each day. Remember, influential allies can open doors, but it's your consistent effort that will propel you through them. It's equally important to understand that not every connection will lead directly to your ultimate success. Some influential people may only play a brief role in your journey, offering a word of encouragement, sparking a new idea, or opening a short-term opportunity. Others might become long-term mentors, collaborators, or champions of your mission. Recognize the value in every interaction, no matter how small or fleeting, as part of a greater mosaic that God is carefully arranging in your life. Trust His timing and purpose in each connection. As Proverbs 16:9 reminds us, in their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. Finally, take this process as a moment of preparation. Opportunities often come when you least expect them, and readiness ensures you can embrace them fully. Begin integrating your faith-driven choices into every fiber of your life. So, you're not just hoping for success, but actively living as someone equipped to receive it. Faith without action is incomplete. Let your steps reflect your trust in what's possible. You've already done something remarkable by choosing faith over fear. Now, the path forward requires intentionality, clarity, and resilience. With every opportunity, show up as the fullest version of yourself, grounded in purpose, authenticity, and faith. Chosen one, you are standing on the brink of something extraordinary. Your story is unfolding, and this chapter is just the beginning of an incredible journey. The best is yet to come. Chapter 3: Embracing the Gift of Support. Chosen one, have you ever found it easier to give help than to receive it? For many of us, the idea of accepting support feels uncomfortable. Maybe it's because we've been conditioned to view needing help as a sign of weakness or failure. But what if I told you that receiving support is not only part of God's plan, but it's also a vital piece of your journey? You see, part of the reward for your faith is that people, those who see your potential and believe in your mission, are sent to help you. Have you ever stopped to consider that the help being offered is a divine confirmation that your calling truly matters? This isn't charity. It's not about pity or someone doing you a favor. It's an acknowledgement that what you're working toward is important, and that extra resources, whether it's wisdom, funding, or connections, can multiply your impact. Proverbs 15:22 reminds us, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. God places people in your life at just the right time to help you move forward. When someone influential notices you and offers their support, your first instinct might be to question their motives. What do they want from me? Am I being used? This caution is natural, and discernment is essential. But remember this: the universe, God's intricate design, often works through people. A sponsor, mentor, or benefactor doesn't show up randomly. They appear because you've reached a stage in your journey where you can't move forward efficiently on your own. Even Moses needed Aaron and Hur to hold up his arms during the battle, ensuring victory for Israel. Exodus 17:12. Can you see how accepting support might be the key to winning the battles in your own life? That said, receiving help doesn't mean saying yes to every offer. It's vital to know your values, before entering into any partnership, mentorship, or deal. Ask yourself, does this opportunity align with the vision God has placed on my heart? Does it resonate with my core beliefs? The Bible warns us in 2 Corinthians 6:14, "Do not be yoked together with unbelievers." This doesn't mean shutting yourself off from others, but rather being wise about whose influence you allow into your journey. Not all help is helpful. Some opportunities might drain your energy, compromise your principles, or distract you from your true calling. Are you clear about the values that guide your decisions? When you stand firm in your faith and your convictions, you gain the ability to discern what is truly meant for you. Think of Nehemiah, who rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem despite facing opposition. He carefully chose his allies and rejected offers from those who sought to undermine his mission. Nehemiah 6:3. In the same way, staying rooted in your purpose allows you to sift through the noise and identify support that genuinely accelerates your growth without diverting you from your God-given path. Chosen one, embracing support is an act of faith. It's trusting that the people crossing your path are there for a reason, and that their resources, whether it's their time, knowledge, or network, are part of the provision God has placed before you. But it's also an act of stewardship, ensuring that you accept only what aligns with your values and your calling. So, let me ask you, are you ready to open your heart to the right kind of help? The kind that multiplies your impact and honors the mission God has entrusted to you. Here's action to try. Start by making a list of your top 3 non-negotiables, the values or priorities that are vital to your well-being and sense of purpose. These might include integrity, creative freedom, family time, or any other aspect of your life you refuse to compromise. Keep this list accessible, whether on your phone, in a journal, or as a visual reminder on your desk. When someone influential presents an opportunity, filter it through these non-negotiables. If it conflicts with even one, no matter how tempting it appears, it's likely not aligned with your higher purpose. But if it aligns with your core values, take it as a green light to explore further. This practice will help you stay grounded, even when the lure of success feels overwhelming. Stepping into greater opportunities also requires releasing the lone wolf mentality. Have you ever confused independence with isolation? Independence means standing strong on your own 2 feet, but isolation is the refusal to let others stand with you. True strength comes from knowing when to lean on others and embrace their support. Even the most successful figures in history, visionary leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers, thrived because they built networks of advisors, friends, and mentors. They recognized the power of aligned souls working toward a common purpose. As Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 says, 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. What might shift in your life if you allowed others to walk alongside you? Don't let the fear of indebtedness block you from receiving support. True, genuine help is not transactional, but relational. It's not about tit-for-tat exchanges, it's about mutual investment in something bigger. When someone believes in your vision, their reward often comes from seeing you thrive and watching your impact ripple outward. Sometimes, paying it forward to others or creating something meaningful is all the repayment needed. Of course, certain arrangements may be business-focused and require clarity of terms, but many times, the help you receive is rooted in a shared passion for your mission. Can you open yourself to the possibility that receiving support doesn't diminish your independence, but amplifies your potential? Support may not always arrive in grand gestures. It often comes through small acts of kindness that carry profound meaning. It could be a friend offering to take care of some errands so you can focus on a big project, or a colleague sharing a contact or insight that leads to a breakthrough. These moments are part of a greater orchestration working in your favor. Recognize them for what they are, divine reminders that you are not alone. Show gratitude, not just with words, but in how you use these resources to move forward. When was the last time you paused to reflect on the subtle ways people around you have helped you reach this point? The moment you allow yourself to receive help with grace, you experience expansion. It's as if your world doubles or triples in size, giving you greater capacity to take on challenges. This openness signals to the universe and to God that you are ready to release old blocks around unworthiness or the belief that you must carry everything alone. As Proverbs 3:34 reminds us, He gives grace to the humble. Humility and a willingness to accept support can be as transformative as the hardest work you've ever done. As we move into the next chapters, we'll explore the emotional complexities that come with expanding your circle of support. It's natural to feel moments of imposter syndrome or fear of letting others down. But when you stay aligned with your faith, integrity, and vision, you'll discover that support isn't a burden. It's a catalyst for the remarkable future waiting for you just around the corner. Chapter 4. Rise without apology. Chosen one, have you ever felt the subtle pressure to downplay your success? Perhaps it's the fear of outshining those around you, or the creeping guilt of receiving blessings others haven't yet experienced. This strange form of survivor's guilt doesn't come after tragedy, but after flourishing. It's as if you're apologizing for thriving, for daring to walk in the abundance God has prepared for you. But hear this, your glow doesn't diminish anyone else's light. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. Do you realize that choosing faith over fear has already set you apart? While others hesitated, you leapt. While the masses prepared for the worst, you dared to believe in a better outcome. This courage naturally distinguishes you, but with that distinction can come discomfort from others. Have you ever felt the sting of whispers like, "What makes you so special?" or seen the envious glance that says, "Must be nice"? Their reactions might sting, but they don't define your worthiness. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Ephesians 2:10. Who are you living to please? Others or the one who called you? How can you rise unapologetically while staying rooted in humility? Rising without apology doesn't mean arrogance or trampling over others. It means understanding that your success is part of God's plan. Think of Joseph in Genesis 41, who rose from the pit of a prison to the palace as Pharaoh's right-hand man. Do you think Joseph apologized for the favor God placed on his life? No, he used his position to save countless lives. In the same way, your rise isn't just for you, it's for the people God intends for you to impact. Have you noticed how your light can guide others? When you rise, you serve as a lighthouse for those lost in doubt, showing them what's possible through faith. Jesus said, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Matthew 5:16. By refusing to hide your light, you're telling others, "I took a chance on faith, and look what happened. You can do it too." Isn't it incredible to think that your success could be the encouragement someone else needs to step out in faith? So, chosen one, don't dim your light to make others more comfortable. Don't apologize for the blessings God has poured into your life. Instead, rise confidently, knowing that your story is a living testimony of God's faithfulness. Let the redeemed of the Lord tell their story, those He redeemed from the hand of the foe. Psalm 107:2. Here's action to try. The next time you catch yourself minimizing your achievements, pause and intentionally reframe your response. Instead of brushing off a compliment or success with, "Oh, it was nothing. Practice saying something more aligned with gratitude and confidence, such as, "Thank you. I'm grateful it worked out and hopeful it inspires someone else." This small but powerful shift in language not only acknowledges your hard work, but also reinforces the idea that your growth is a vessel for positive energy and purpose, not an ego trip. How often do you allow yourself to fully celebrate what you've accomplished? When someone influential rewards you, recognize it for what it is, a response to your courage, resilience, and the risks you've taken to align your life with faith. But be cautious. Apologizing for your success can unintentionally send a signal to the universe that you're not fully open to receiving. The universe operates on clarity. By holding success with both gratitude and humility, you demonstrate that you are ready for more, keeping the flow of opportunities open. However, showing guilt or ambivalence muddies the waters, potentially slowing down the blessings meant for you. Can you allow yourself to receive with grace, knowing that your success is part of a greater purpose? As you rise, you'll notice new demands on your time and energy. Have you thought about how you'll navigate the boundaries needed to protect your well-being? Generosity is noble, but you cannot pour from an empty cup. Part of rising unapologetically is learning to say no with kindness but firmness. For example, you might say, "I care about this, but I need to focus on my current priorities to honor my commitments." True supporters will understand and respect your boundaries. Those who don't may drift away, and that's okay. Not everyone is meant to walk with you through every stage of your journey. How might setting boundaries help you preserve the energy you need to fulfill your vision? Another reality of rising is that certain relationships may shift. Have you noticed how some people grow distant when your success challenges their comfort zones? This doesn't mean you love them any less, but it does mean you cannot slow your momentum to accommodate their insecurities. Love them where they are, but don't let their discomfort deter you from your path. This is part of unapologetically owning your growth, knowing that your destiny is not contingent on everyone's approval or understanding. Am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. Galatians 1:10. Rising without apology is not about arrogance, it's about stepping into the fulfillment of your calling. Dimming your light to make others feel comfortable diminishes the very faith and effort that brought you here. Instead, let your journey shine as a testament to what happens when faith triumphs over fear. Your success becomes a beacon of hope, showing others that extraordinary things are possible when you trust in your purpose and act courageously. As we move forward, we'll explore the emotional layers that come with stepping into a spotlight, especially if you've spent much of your life flying under the radar. This transition can feel overwhelming, but rising with poise and integrity is a skill that can be mastered. Stay with me, because the road ahead holds even greater rewards as you learn to embrace your ascent without shame or hesitation. Chapter 5. Handling the Spotlight with Grace. Chosen one, the spotlight has a way of finding those who walk boldly in their faith. It's not just for celebrities, it's for anyone who dares to step into their purpose. When others begin to notice you, they often look to you for guidance, inspiration, or leadership. Whether it's in your community, workplace, or online, the platform you've been given, no matter how small or large, carries great potential. But how do you navigate this attention with humility, confidence, and grace? Balancing the demands of the spotlight can be a challenge. How do you ensure that standing tall doesn't come across as arrogance, but that holding back doesn't make you hide the light God has placed within you? Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16. God has positioned you for a purpose, and your visibility is part of His plan. It's not about self-promotion, it's about reflecting His glory. One of the most insidious challenges of the spotlight is imposter syndrome. Have you ever heard that voice in your head saying, "Who am I to be a role model?" Or, "What if people discover I'm not as perfect as they think?" These doubts can be paralyzing, but God doesn't call the perfect. He calls the willing. Paul reminds us in 2 Corinthians 12:9, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Could it be that the very imperfections you fear are the parts of your story that others will find most inspiring? Think of Moses, who doubted his ability to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, saying, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" Exodus 3:11. Have you ever felt like Moses, questioning your own qualifications for the role God has given you? Yet God's response to Moses was clear: "I will be with you." Exodus 3:12. Like Moses, your calling isn't dependent on your strength. It's powered by God's presence in your life. Navigating the spotlight also requires boundaries. How often do you feel tempted to say yes to everything, fearing that saying no might disappoint others? Even Jesus, who carried the weight of the world, knew the importance of stepping away to rest and recharge. But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Luke 5:16. Rest isn't a weakness, it's a spiritual discipline that allows you to serve with clarity and purpose. Another key to handling the spotlight is recognizing your limitations. Have you ever tried to be everything to everyone, only to end up feeling drained and ineffective? Paul reminds us in Romans 12:6, "We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us." By focusing on your unique strengths and trusting others to fill in the gaps, you can maximize your impact without burning out. Finally, consider Joseph, who rose from being a prisoner to Pharaoh's right-hand man in Egypt, Genesis 41. Joseph's journey was a testament to faith and preparation. How do you ensure that you, like Joseph, are ready to step into the spotlight when your moment comes? His rise wasn't about chasing attention. It was about faithfully using his God-given gifts where he was placed, trusting that each step was part of a greater plan. Chosen one, the spotlight isn't about perfection or pleasing everyone. It's about stewardship, using your platform to glorify God and uplift others. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. 1 Peter 5:6. When you embrace the spotlight with humility, authenticity, and faith, you become a beacon of hope for those watching, reflecting the goodness and grace of the one who called you. Here's action to try. Start by identifying one area where you genuinely feel equipped to guide or help others. Is it your ability to inspire mindset shifts, your knack for creative problem solving, your financial wisdom, or your gift for offering emotional support? Be honest with yourself about where your strengths truly lie. Write this down and make a commitment to fully dedicate yourself to this area when others seek your help. At the same time, promise yourself that you won't try to fix every aspect of someone's life. Stretching yourself too thin dilutes your energy and can lead to feelings of overwhelm or inadequacy. By focusing on your unique gifts, you ensure that the support you offer is not only meaningful, but also sustainable. What would change if you leaned wholeheartedly into the area where your skills and passions align most powerfully? As new opportunities pour in, balance becomes essential. Have you felt the pull to say yes to everything in fear that saying no might slow your momentum? With increased visibility comes a flood of invitations, events, projects, collaborations, and more. But not all opportunities serve your higher purpose. In fact, some can divert you from the path God has set for you. Saying no isn't a rejection of opportunity. It's an act of faith, trusting that the right doors will open when the time is right. Ask yourself, does this opportunity align with my core values and mission? Will it bring me closer to my purpose, or is it a distraction? Learning to discern between aligned opportunities and distractions allows you to focus your energy where it matters most. Sometimes your greatest leap of faith is trusting that God's plan will unfold, even if you don't take every step presented to you. Amidst your rising success, don't forget to nurture the relationships that have grounded you since the beginning. Have you noticed how easy it can be for the demands of new opportunities to create distance from your inner circle? These are the friends and family who believed in you before the spotlight, the ones who remind you of your true self. Be intentional about staying connected to them. Schedule time for heartfelt conversations, shared meals, or even simple acts of gratitude. These relationships act as a safety net, providing stability when the external noise grows overwhelming. When was the last time you paused to express appreciation to someone who has stood by you? These connections don't just ground you, they also remind you that your success is not solely yours. It's built on the love and encouragement of those who have supported you along the way. As you step into the spotlight, be mindful of the seductive nature of external validation. Applause, likes, and accolades can feel exhilarating, but they can also become an addictive cycle that leaves you chasing approval rather than purpose. Have you ever found yourself doing something not because it resonates with your spirit, but because you wanted recognition? To guard against this, create a personal practice that anchors you in intrinsic motivation. Maybe you journal to reflect on your intentions, meditate to connect with God, or pursue a private hobby that brings you joy purely for the sake of joy. These practices keep you grounded in who you are, ensuring that your worth is not tied to public approval, but rooted in your faith and purpose. How might prioritizing a quiet, unseen practice reshape the way you navigate success? Looking ahead, recognize that the spotlight can be more than just a platform for personal gain. When approached with grace and authenticity, it becomes a beacon of hope for others, a way to show what's possible when faith leads the way. Each step you take with integrity and alignment sets an example for others to follow, inspiring them to rise in their own unique ways. This is the true power of visibility, not just to shine, but to illuminate the path for others. Chosen one, you are on the brink of something extraordinary. Your role in this unfolding story is far greater than you realize. Stay focused, stay balanced, and stay rooted in faith. The best is not behind you. It's still unfolding before your very eyes. Chapter 6. Turning rewards into a greater purpose. Chosen one. Have you noticed how blessings begin to multiply once you've aligned your life with faith? Maybe you've received financial breakthroughs, invitations to collaborate, or even a wave of new, meaningful relationships. These rewards are more than a testament to your courage in choosing faith over fear. They're tools given to you for a higher purpose. The real question is, how will you use these blessings to create an impact that goes beyond yourself? Material success or recognition can feel exhilarating at first, but it fades quickly if it's not tied to something deeper. Without a purpose, even the most incredible achievements can leave you feeling hollow. The Bible reminds us, what good will it be for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? Matthew 16:26. True fulfillment doesn't come from what you gain, but from what you give. When you anchor your rewards in service to others, their impact multiplies and leaves a lasting legacy. Think about it. The excitement of buying something new or achieving a personal milestone eventually wears off, but the joy of empowering someone else, mentoring a younger version of yourself, or contributing to a meaningful cause. That kind of satisfaction is eternal. Jesus modeled this perfectly when he used his influence to serve others. In John 13:14-15, he washed his disciples' feet and said, "Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet." How might your rewards become a tool for service in a way that reflects God's love? The first step in turning rewards into purpose is recognizing that your blessings aren't just for you. They've been entrusted to you for a reason. God's design is intentional, and his blessings flow through those willing to share. Freely you have received, freely give. Matthew 10:8. This doesn't always mean grand gestures. It might look like offering encouragement, volunteering your time, or creating opportunities for others to thrive. Who in your life might benefit from the blessings you've been given? Generosity doesn't just change the lives of others, it creates abundance in your own life. Proverbs 11:25 tells us, "A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed." This divine cycle of giving and receiving multiplies everything you touch. Have you noticed how even small acts of generosity, like a kind word or a shared resource, can ripple outward and create profound change? Choosing faith over fear was never just about personal victory. It was a call to something greater. Your journey is meant to inspire, uplift, and empower others. Think of Esther, whose position as queen wasn't meant for her comfort, but for the salvation of her people. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this? Esther 4:14. Like Esther, your rewards are tied to a divine purpose, one that extends far beyond your individual story. Chosen one, your blessings are more than rewards. They are tools for building something eternal. As you channel them into a greater purpose, you'll find fulfillment that surpasses the fleeting joy of personal success. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Matthew 6:19-20. The question isn't whether you'll leave an impact. It's how profound that impact will be when you align your blessings with God's purpose. Here's action to try. Take a moment to reflect on what you've recently gained: new connections, financial resources, a growing platform, or honed skills. Write these down and recognize the tools you now have at your disposal. Then, brainstorm at least 3 meaningful ways to use these assets to uplift others. You don't need to launch a massive organization or donate all your resources to make a difference. Even small gestures, like offering pro bono services to a local non-profit, mentoring someone just starting out, or hosting a free workshop for aspiring entrepreneurs, can create powerful ripples of change. What would happen if you started using even a fraction of what you've gained to empower someone else? As opportunities grow, integrity becomes your anchor. Success often brings new temptations, lucrative deals that conflict with your values, or social pressures to present a polished version of yourself at the expense of authenticity. Have you ever felt the pull to compromise on something small, thinking it might lead to bigger rewards? This is where your foundation of faith becomes non-negotiable. If a situation doesn't align with your core principles, resist the urge to force it. Compromising integrity might yield short-term gains, but it often leads to long-term loss, eroding trust, inner peace, and the very purpose that set you apart. Remember Proverbs 10:9. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. How can you ensure your decisions remain in harmony with your higher calling? When you align your rewards with a greater purpose, something extraordinary happens. Work transforms from a task into a mission. relationships evolve into meaningful collaborations rooted in shared vision. Have you noticed how passion attracts the right people and opportunities? This is no coincidence. It's the universe and God responding to your elevated energy, matching your commitment with equally aligned possibilities. Your alignment becomes a magnet, pulling in supportive allies and opening doors you never imagined. However, purpose-driven living isn't without its challenges. Have you ever felt the weight of expectations, whether from others or yourself, become overwhelming? You might worry about disappointing people if a project doesn't succeed, or feel pressured to meet the high standards of being a leader. These moments call for humility. Being purpose-driven doesn't mean you have to be superhuman. You're allowed to make mistakes, pivot when needed, or even pause to regroup. What matters is your honesty, adaptability, and commitment to the broader mission, even as it evolves. Remember, God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. If the weight of your calling ever feels too heavy, take a step back and remind yourself why you chose faith in the first place. Choosing faith wasn't just about escaping fear. It was about stepping into a story bigger than yourself. You became part of a divine narrative where your growth contributes to the collective good. How does that perspective shift the way you view your challenges and responsibilities? When you lean into this truth, the pressure transforms into a privilege. You don't have to do this work. You get to do it. You get to share your gifts, make an impact, and inspire others in ways most people only dream about. This shift in mindset can reignite your passion and help you view your purpose through a lens of gratitude rather than obligation. In the final chapter, we'll explore how to sustain this purposeful journey for the long haul. We'll examine how faith, rewards, and influence can be woven into a tapestry that serves both you and those around you. You've already come this far by choosing faith over fear. Now imagine the extraordinary things that will unfold when you channel all you've gained into a destiny that transcends the ordinary. Chosen one, buckle up, because the best is still ahead. Chapter 7: Sustaining Your Legacy of Faith. Chosen one, your journey of faith is not defined by a single leap, but by a series of choices that have shaped your life into a testament of trust and courage. Time and again, you've chosen hope over fear, and now you're beginning to see the fruit of your commitment, visibility, opportunities, and meaningful impact. But the question remains, how do you ensure that this legacy of faith endures, not just for a season, but for a lifetime? Sustaining your legacy demands ongoing effort, adaptability, and the wisdom to nurture what has been built. Think of your faith journey as a vibrant garden. Each small step of trust has been a seed planted in rich soil, and your consistent efforts have watered them into growth. But even the most beautiful garden requires upkeep. Doubts can creep in like weeds. Old habits may no longer serve you, and new opportunities need careful tending. Jesus used the image of a vine and branches to remind us of this continual connection. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. John 15:5. Are you staying connected to the source of your strength, or are you letting distractions threaten the roots of your growth? Surprisingly, one of the most critical elements of sustaining a faith-driven legacy is rest. Have you ever felt the weight of endless opportunities, yet found yourself running on empty? Faith doesn't mean ignoring your emotional or physical limits. Even God rested on the seventh day of creation to reflect on his work, Genesis 2:2-3. Taking time to pause, whether through a weekend retreat, quiet prayer, or a mindful walk, helps you recharge and refocus on what truly matters. Choose one day this week to unplug from work, social media, and outside demands. Notice how this intentional rest restores your energy, reminding you that your worth isn't tied to constant productivity, but to the quality of your presence. As your influence grows, others will begin to look to you, not only for inspiration, but for guidance. Have you considered how your story might empower someone else? You don't need to be flawless to mentor others. In fact, authenticity is what makes mentorship impactful. Paul encouraged Timothy, "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." Tetekeshos. Through mentoring, whether formally or informally, you plant seeds of courage in others and hold yourself accountable to live out the values you teach. Who might benefit from your insights or encouragement as you continue to grow? Another cornerstone of sustaining your legacy is adaptability. Have you ever clung to a plan that no longer served you, only to feel frustration when it didn't work out? Faith requires flexibility, the ability to trust that God's plan might include detours you hadn't anticipated. Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." When industries evolve, relationships shift, or personal dreams transform, don't resist change. Instead, trust that every closed door leads to another opportunity perfectly aligned with God's purpose for you. Above all, never lose sight of your why. What was it that sparked your journey when fear threatened to hold you back? That initial purpose, the deep reason for choosing faith, is your anchor. Paul's words in Galatians 6:9 are a reminder. "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." As distractions arise or challenges emerge, return to your why. Share it with those you